Okay. Let's find a comfortable seat. Maybe you grab one of your props to wedge beneath you so that you sit up a little bit taller. We're going to start with a little pranayama this evening, some alternate nostril breathing. Alternate nostril breathing, also known as nadi shodhana. So we're going to go ahead and take our right hand and create this L shape with the right thumb, pointer finger, and middle finger. We'll then allow it to hover right in front of our face. The right thumb hovers over the right nostril, and the pointer finger and the middle finger lightly touch upon the third eye. That's the space between your eyebrows. Your left hand can just plainly rest in your lap, face down for a little bit added grounding. Take a breath in through both nostrils and a breath out of the mouth. Another breath in through the nose and a breath out of the mouth. Last one, breath in through the nose. This time breathe out through the nose. On the next breath in, you're going to close off your right nostril, breathing in through the left for the counts of 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold both nostrils closed and retain at the top for 1, 2, 3, 4. Release right and exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in at the bottom for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold and retain for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through left for 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in left for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold and retain for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the right for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold and retain for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the left for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale left for 1. And continue on your own. Maybe sticking with this count of 4. You can lengthen it by adding to the count, or even by spacing out the pace of the count, making it faster or slower, or just sticking with the pace we've already started with. Really nice. Following the inhales, watching them gradually come in. And as you hold and retain, see if you can find some softness. You can hold without there being any unnecessary tensions in the body. And then whenever you come to exhale, allow that flow and exodus of breath also be gradual and paced. That's YOLO, one of our cats in the background. You can probably hear him. Quite a loud meow. Couple more rounds here. Notice where you're holding tension, and then just breathe space. Breathe space into those places of tension. taking your time without rush. The next time you come to exhale through your left nostril, allow your next inhale to come through both nostrils, allowing the hand to float down towards your lap. Just for a moment, be in the spaciousness. Allow your hands to float up to your heart in prayer. Let's open practice with the sound of 3 gentle ohms. Breathing in. Honoring our practice with our resonance. Deep breath in through the nose and a big sigh out of the mouth. Breathe your eyes open. And let's set up for our first pose. Toe squat. Grab your blocks and maybe a blanket. We'll come to sit on our shins, knees, and heels. Our toes are tucked under. Make sure the pinky toes are tucked under as well, and that they're not sneaking out behind you. They can have a tendency to curl under and get left behind. Don't let them get left behind. Curl them in with the same on the same plane as the rest of the toes. Blocks outside of our hips, and maybe a blanket between our hips, or I should rather say our sit bones and our heels. Your hands can come onto your blocks at any setting that makes you feel secure and comfortable. When you found your throne, close your eyes and take a big breath in. And then you'll let that breath go. Always finding that settling breath in and the settling breath out. explore your breath. Anytime the pose starts to feel a little bit too much, you might take a breath in through the nose and then a breath out to flutter the lips. You can even get audible with it, adding a little bit of sound and resonance on top. Always remembering to keep the teeth connected, or separated. Not connected, separated. You could even come forward, shifting the weight into the hands if you needed a little reprieve. Taking the weight off of the toes and off of the soles, the arches of the feet, and then you take yourself back to the seat when you're ready to come back into it. Right? It's okay to take that reprieve, that little break. You know, there's plenty of time. You know, we take about 3 minutes, so by all means, like, you don't have to sit there for the whole time. Give yourself a break. And give yourself a little bit more love, a little extra TLC. Last breath in for your toe squat. And a flutter of the lips on the breath out. Good. Shift your weight forward. You can leave your props where they are and just shift your weight into your hands. Untucking the toes, you might let them just float in space. Move that blanket so you can see what's going on. You just float the toes, maybe pointing and then flexing, or just letting them float. Really, the float is the key word here. And just slowly making little movements. And you might bring the tops of the feet to the ground, little pitter-patters. Next pose is dangling pose. So we'll tuck our toes back under, or if you don't want to do that, you can even step your feet forward, right? If that tuck-toed position was a lot, maybe the stepping forward to come into the dangling pose is better. Might be more comfortable to the body. Blocks are underneath our hands. My goodness, I am tongue-tied this evening. Blocks are underneath our hands. Knees are generously bent, and we drape ourselves over our thighs. Feet are roughly hips distance apart. If you feel more stable with a wider stance, you can very well do that. That's totally okay. And then connect and root down through the feet, through all four corners. Try not to leave all your weight in the heels, nor the toes. Try to find a happy medium. And then once you've found that happy medium, let the head be heavy. Take a big breath in through the nose. A big flutter out of the lips. Maybe shake the head no, and shake the head yes. You know, taking any sort of little movements that you need to help further invite the body into the pose. And then you find stillness, ultimately. Try to relax and soften into the pose. Really nice. We've got a minute left to go. Last big breath in. And a big flutter of the lips out. Your weight is in your hands. Slowly bend your knees and begin to bring yourself down to the ground, one knee at a time. Hands and knees. Oh. Maybe you just come to a seat. Maybe you like to just stay in this all four position. Maybe cat-cows, gentle. Breathing in to arch. Exhaling to round. Couple spine undulations if that feels good. Might also feel nice to lengthen out through the back of one leg in a half plank. And then if you like that, you'd switch out the sides. And breathe big during the transitions, as well as, I can't say it enough about the breathing during the pose, right? But what about the in-betweens? Being present through the whole transformation, right? All right, next pose. Our next pose is half saddle. So we'll grab our bolster. Oh, and YOLO is here with us. I don't know, can you see him over here? He's kind of blending in with the blankets. This is the one you heard in the background earlier. He's got quite an interesting meow. So we're gonna come with our back facing the bolster, lengthening our legs. And then we'll lean into our left hip. We'll swing our right leg back behind us, or our right foot back behind us, taking the top of the right foot to the ground. All right. Keep leaning into that left side. Right hand comes to the right calf muscle. Peel that flesh out and towards the right so that there's space for the thigh to rest, right? So there's a little bit less congested of a compression. Step your left foot to the ground. You might stay upright. This might be enough. Otherwise, you'll slowly begin to lower yourself down onto your forearms, one forearm at a time, hanging out there, seeing what that's like. And if you feel like you can go a little bit further, that your body feels comfortable, safe, and trusting, then you might come to a full reclined position in a half saddle pose. Wherever you are, settle in. Close the eyes. Breathe in through the nose. And breathe out of the mouth. If your left foot is still stepped to the ground and the knee is bent, you might explore lengthening that leg long in your reclined half virasana or half saddle pose, I should say. Find a breath in through the nose. And then a hum on the breath out. One more like that, big breath in. And then a hum on the breath out. Chin into chest. Plant your hands, press into your forearms and your palms. Roll up to sit if you were reclined. Lean into your left hip. Swing your right foot to the ground. Up to you if you want a little bit of movement or stillness. When you're ready, we'll take half saddle on the left side. We'll lean into our right hip, bending the left knee, taking the top of the left foot outside of the left hip. The top of the foot comes to the ground. You might stay upright if this is what you chose on the first side. Otherwise, if you came to recline, then slowly and gradually listening to the body, come to lower back. Pausing anywhere in between if you felt anything that felt off on the body, right? No force, no pain. We've got the props around us to support us in all the ways that we need. When you've found your expression of the pose, close the eyes and find the breath in. And then let the breath go. There are many opportunities throughout tonight's practice that are just purely focused on stillness and calm and quiet. gift to the self to listen to the little teeny tiny whisper messages up from the body. Messages that we sometimes wouldn't otherwise hear or listen to if we weren't in the calm, if we didn't give ourselves space. Right? Calm doesn't just happen. Calm is something that we create. Just like joy. Just like sadness. If your right foot is still stepped to the ground, maybe you explore lengthening the leg long. Again, balancing out and honoring this side with whatever you did on the other side. Find a breath in, and then a hum on the breath out. One more like that. Big breath in, and then a hum on the breath out. Chin into chest, hands to the ground. Help yourself to come up to sit. Lean into your right hip. Swing your left foot to the ground. Your choice if it's stillness that you need or a counter stretch. Again, be mindful on the body. We just came from a deep compression, a long compression of the knee joint, so fully extending the leg might be shocking to the body. So just be aware of the speed that you take to counter stretch. Maybe you take the hands behind you, feet to the ground, gentle, side to side windshield wipers. Right? Mindful movement. And then we'll come to turn around, face our bolster. We'll take it out of the way and place it to the right side of our mats. YOLO is still with us. We'll let him hang out. There's definitely space for us all. We're coming into half frog. You'll bend the right knee, taking it on top of the pillows. Hip in line with the knee in line with the ankle. So you create this kind of square-like shape in the right. Oh, I have the hiccups. Excuse me. You create this kind of box square-like shape in the right leg. Find a Sphinx pose with the arms, just so you get long through the torso, and that the front body is really facing forward and down towards the mat. Then press into your hands, widen your elbows, bring your left cheek to the ground. Cactus your arms, or T, almost like you're hugging the earth, hugging the world. That's actually a really nice idea, nice visual. Wherever you are, close your eyes. Take that settling breath in through the nose, and then exhale out of the mouth. Let it go. Dive deep. Allow yourself to really relax and heavy into the floor. Feel how it supports you. It supports not only your physical body, but your breath. As you breathe deeper and into your belly, Let that breath be so big that it fills up your back body. Checking with the fingertips, make sure they're soft and supple. This is a beautiful pose to explore your sound, explore the healing benefits of your own resonance on the body, on your body. Breathing in through the nose, and then a gentle hum on the breath out. Again, just like that, breathe in, breathe out. And taking that as many times as you'd like. Maybe even exploring the flutters of the lips. Any expressions of your sound, anything. Stay curious. If you'd like a deeper neck stretch, go ahead and take your right cheek to the ground, gazing in the opposite direction of your bent knee. Relax and soften your shoulders. Take a breath in here. And then a flutter through the lips. And then you might stay here for at least 2 to 3 breaths. Give it a chance. Find patience. But of course, if there's any pain, then you can go ahead and reverse your gaze, taking it back from whence you came. Final breath in. Gentle sigh out of the mouth. Take your left cheek to the ground once again, gazing in the direction of your bent knee. And just pause there for a brief moment. And then your third eye will come to the ground. Create a pillow, stacking one palm on top of the other. You'll then slide your right leg off the bolster to meet your left, coming to the center. Shimmy the hips side to side. You might even bend the knees and windshield wiper the feet in the air side to side. I find that this option is a little bit kinder on the knees if you have knee sensitivity. And then feet come to the ground, hands underneath your shoulders. Press the ground away, all fours. Come to sit on your heels. And it's purely transitional. We're going to take the bolster over to the left side of our mat. We'll come onto our bellies once again, this time bringing our left leg, bending the knee, to rest on our bolster. Again, finding that square-like shape right here on the left side. Sphinx pose with the arms, just to find length and lift in the torso. When you found it, you press into the hands, widen the elbows, right cheek to the ground. Cactus your arms, or T your arms. Whatever feels better, right? Whatever feels more delicious. Like you can go a little bit deeper. It helps you to relax a little further. Let the eyes close. Take a breath in through the nose. And a sigh out of the mouth. Again, big breathings into the belly and across the ribs. Even big into the front and back of your hearts. If you took the gaze in the opposite direction on the right side, you may go ahead and do it here, taking the left cheek to the ground, gazing away from your bent knee. And staying there and taking at least 2 to 3 conscious breaths. Make sure to soften the shoulders. And then slowly begin to take your right cheek to the ground once again. And then the third eye. making that pillow, stacking one palm on top of the other. Left leg meets the right. You can shimmy the hips or windshield wiper. Take a breath in. And then hum on the breath out. Yeah, while you're windshield wipering. Let's do that one last time. Big breath in. And then a gentle hum. Nice. Feet to the ground, hands underneath your shoulders. Press the ground away. All fours. Come to sit on your heels. Oh, I love that frog pose. Let's set up for heart bench next. Another goodie. Grab your blocks. We'll basically need all of our props for this next one. Man, I almost fell asleep in that last frog pose. I think it's because YOLO's here and he's sleeping all cute and curled up. I might have to grab another blanket so I don't move him. I'll go in this direction. So one block at the highest setting, second block is at the medium setting. And it's just a little guesstimate of a distance between the two. We'll be more specific when we come to recline. Let me grab one more blanket so YOLO can keep his. Yoga for everybody. We're gonna take our bolster and we're gonna lay it onto our blocks. Yeah, and you know, I did say that we were going to be a little more specific. So this is a more restorative version, putting the bolster on top of the blocks. And again, it is still guesstimated. It's like roughly like 2-3 inches. And you lay the bolster onto the blocks. This is a more restorative, gentle version of heart bench. Otherwise, you just come to recline onto the blocks. If you want something a little bit deeper, it gets a little bit deeper into the shoulder blades, and it's a little bit, it's a deeper heart opener. So you might explore to see which one you prefer, right? Options are great. So see if you'd like this kind of raw version on the blocks. You will feel that it's a bigger opening. If you want something softer that is still an opening, you might use that bolster. I'm going to use the bolster because we're going to be here for a little while. So you want to be comfortable. And then we're going to use our blanket. We're going to open it up so it's nice and big. You don't have to open it up to its fullest width, just enough so that we can roll it up into a nice long veggie burrito or noodle. You'll step your feet to the ground. Back is facing the bolster. You'll take this long noodle. You'll drape it over the fronts of your ankles, holding on to the edges, right, the ends of the noodle, and looping them behind and around the ankles so that now the ends of the blankets come through the center. You'll open your knees out like a Baddha Konasana, but we still need to recline. So close the knees for now. See if you can keep that nice little tuck in of your noodle around the ankles, neutralizing the hips and knees. Knees point up towards the sky, just so that you come to recline. Then when you've reclined, you can open the knees, and hopefully that noodle is still there, supporting your hip flexors, so that we're not spilling out all over the place, but we're supported. The arms will splay out to the sides, palms face up, and you'll close your eyes. Take a big breath in. Generous sigh out of the mouth. So this pose in the yin practice is called a heart bench pose. But in the vinyasa practice, it's called reclined goddess. Or I should actually say restorative practice. This is not vinyasa at all. Quite the opposite. Constructive rest. Beautiful. If by any chance you have an extra blanket nearby, you may go ahead and drape yourself with it if you feel like you're getting a little chilly. But if you're comfortable, then stay. Start to breathe a little deeper. Breathing in through the nose and out of the mouth. You'll slowly make your way out of this, coming into Shavasana. Setting yourself up so you're nice and supported. Taking the blocks, all the props out from behind you. Maybe you set up the props in front of you, 2 blocks side by side on the medium setting. Bolster comes behind the blocks so that you can swing your legs up and over, giving the hamstrings a little bit of a break. And then a pillow we'll create with our blanket. Or you might even just open it up and get nice and cozy and tuck yourselves in. Up to you if you'd like to cloak yourself or if you need a little bit extra cushion for the head to rest. It's up to you. When you get there, let the eyes fall heavy and closed. You'll breathe in through the nose and a sigh out of the mouth. And heavy. Surrender all of your body to the earth. Feel the backs of your heels heavy, the backs of your legs, the backs of your hips and sit bones. Let it heavy. Let the backs of your hands and arms heavy. Let your back heavy. And then even allow the back of the head to heavy. Heavy so much. The bottom jaw falls limp and loose away from the top jaw. The tongue even releases from the roof of the mouth. The eyes and the eyebrows are soft. Even your hair follicles. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Stretch your arms up over your head alongside your ears. Take a big breath and stretch in. And then let that go. One by one, pull your knees in towards your chest. Giving yourself a little hug and then rocking over to your left side. Your nurturing side, your moon side, which, by the way, we had a nice big beautiful full moon this past Saturday. So if you haven't tuned in with self-care yet until today, then amazing, perfect. Keep the practice going on and off the mat. When you're ready, press yourself up to sit, keeping the eyes heavy and closed. We'll meet in a seat with a prayer at our hearts to seal our practice with the sound of one sacred Om. Let's breathe in. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace from me to you. Thank you. Beautiful, beautiful practice.